Hello, this is composer and French hornist Richard Burdick, and today is July 16th, 2025. This is ThinkSpot number 21. I see that my last one was May 1st, and I try to do them every month. A little slow on that. Okay, so the main point to think about, I think I started a survey the other day. I used to survey, like in the breaks and rehearsals or for the orchestra, I used to, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Kind of surveys. So, because I feel like there's one major disappointment in my, maybe two, but really one major disappointment currently about my career. And so the question is, what did you expect from your music career that didn't actually happen? I mean, and one person said, replied, like, I didn't expect to have so much pain as a violinist, pain in shoulders and stuff like that. That's totally valid. Another was, maybe I'm not wording it right, but another person said they sure wish that they didn't have to do a concert only once. I mean, you work so hard to prepare little licks and the hard stuff in a concert and get good at it, and then you do it once, at least here in the Regina Symphony Orchestra, generally, except the corps, we do it 100 times. So that's a valid thing. So trying to find less stress, less pain, and there's a lot of people doing that kind of work. But for me, try to do concerts. You know, I've come to the realization that I'm okay on the web. I have a couple 300 followers on YouTube, almost. So it's pretty good. I'm not a famous horn player so much as dedicated. And I've been reading this book, actually. Is Talent Overrated? Great book. Really, really great book. Is Talent Overrated? I think it was from 2008. Basically saying, for musicians, those who practice with a conscious effort and not just routine, really get better faster. So you do, and I think I'm doing the right thing, because I sit down and record something in an afternoon, like 3 or 4 minute piece, 4 parts. I can do that in an afternoon generally, because I'm good at staying with the click or adjusting the click so that it moves a little bit, so I want it to move. But reading the details, you know, dynamics, volume, then doing the extra. I always believe in the concept music is change. So you take what's written on the page, that's not change. That's you can read it like a computer would read it. The volume goes up and down, and the note, you play the notes, you do all the slurs, all the short notes. But it's not until you change something, like instead of just piano to forte, you go crescendo to forte. You add a little crescendo, you add a, and generally I don't like long notes. And it's a real problem in orchestras. The horn player or brass in general, like, well, long chord, bah, and conductors always say, softer on that. Well, you want to be heard to start. So I believe in the fishtail, fish shape. You start with the tail. I can't do it with my hands here. Start loud, diminuendo, pretty fast, but not a forte piano, and then crescendo gradually to the end. So it starts loud and ends audibly, but the middle section is lucid, or Jeffrey Simon used to say taut. I never understood that. Taut, make it taut, whatever the F that is. So that's you know, change it, make it a shape, play the shape. I believe in the pyramid of sound, loud, low. My current conductor doesn't seem to believe in that. So I think there should be, you know, the low balance, because you base all your chords on the low note. The theory is the low note sets what the chord is. You don't base the chord on the high note. So low note's important. But the survey, see, for me, it's a lack of having people to work with. Maybe I've chosen that path myself, probably so, because I really value my time alone, creating and recording. I really like to be alone in the house when I'm recording. Just even the thoughts somehow get me, and I do stupid things over and over sometimes. It's absurd. Maybe I feel embarrassed that I have to do some stupid things over and over until I really feel it's right. But I'm pretty quick at recording, and it's in tune, it's expressive, generally in tune. I won't go further in that direction. But the disappointment currently, tried to do concerts. My first concert, June 1st, I consider a very big success, and I want to thank my friend Sean for his input, trombone playing, and the willingness and desire to do some extra rehearsals. And I worked out a lot of bugs on how to do the interactive media, audio, in this case like tape music with trombone and horn. I worked that out pretty well, and the next one I'm working on is videotape, and I have that pretty well worked out. My August 3rd concert is not officially announced yet, but it's being rescheduled for November 3rd. Had a problem with an illness with one of my friends, so that's too bad. Really worked hard on that, and we're just rescheduling. So, but the idea is when two or more people team up, it gets way easier. Like my wind quintet and wind octet in the 80s, everybody did a little bit of extra effort, like copying music and finding a place to play, arranging stuff. Publicity, I did Publicity, and Publicity is so different. The 1980s style Publicity that I did for Trinity Chamber Concerts in Berkeley, where I was the manager, so different from today. And sites keep popping up, like, oh, here's a list of local events coming up, and oh, I never saw that one before. So I have about 10 places on the web to list, where people hopefully go and look for the concerts they want to attend, and it's pretty neat. Way easier. And actually, my concert that's going to be rescheduled is on Spotify. I was very happy about that Spotify said, oh, upcoming event by me, because I'm on Spotify. So that's my big disappointment I'm working towards it. I see the need to, and in the idea, I don't know if people realize that I'm a pretty easygoing guy and want to find collaborators. One of the criteria, based on this Talent is Overrated book, is I really want someone dedicated who practices every day to work with me. It'd be nice to find a quintet of any sort. If I have trombone and horn, then we got to balance it in a way different way, like piano or keyboards, a high woodwind, a violin, or viola would be great. Ideal. Well, actually, the ensemble I love, which is the August 3rd concert being rescheduled. English horn, cello, horn, and then on the tape is just any sounds I want. But the real ensemble would include harp, but we don't really have a harpist right now in town. It's a small town. It feels like a small town, 200,000 people. Maybe it's a hick town. I shouldn't talk bad about Regina because it's a great place. I can walk to the Central Park, which is the second biggest Central Park in North America, next to New York City. We used to be classified as the sunniest capital in North America. Something changed on that one. I don't know what it was. I have no idea why the weather has changed. But we used to be the sunniest capital. And then I moved here in 2003, and it was just before that they stopped rating that. 2002 they stopped rating the number of sunny days. There was maybe there was a conspiracy about sunny days. I don't know. I have lots of indoor plants over here. My symbiotic relationship with oxygen producers while I exhale a lot, playing my horn. So I'm just rambling today. Oh, I've been in a very creative space. I really enjoy doing my nature videos. I love waterfalls. And I know someone said waterfalls cure cancer. You're not supposed to claim any cure for cancer. It's against the law to claim a cure for cancer. But there's something about the ions in the air that make you healthier. Oh, let's say that. Waterfalls make you healthier. I believe it. It's so nice to breathe that very wet, splashy, cool air. So anyway, recorded, and I'm getting very quick about these pieces. Exploring computer sounds, much more exploring computer sounds. So last night I just finished the Opus 350, A Message from Space, I think it's called. Astronauts say, we've heard this sound from on our radio or on our radar or something. we're tuning into the sound. It sounds like you're underwater, like sonar. But they're saying we don't know where it's coming from, and I think that's pretty neat. So it was easy to do. I put the video together, and I found a really nice splash title. I'm gonna keep using that one for a while. The two things come in and cross and hold there. There's the title and the subtitle. It's really nice. And I have a camera that's pretty stable now. I got a GoPro 11, I think it is. Maybe it's a 10. So I can wiggle all I want, and it comes out pretty steady. Unlike the old days where I'd walk and my last production of American, darn it, I lost my video, I lost my computer. American Falls, the second American Falls, that's pretty jiggly. But that's the way it is, but that's fixed. So yeah, I've been very productive. Last night I wrote this English horn piece with the space sounds. Really cool. And I think it was a news item that went unnoticed, sort of. Like a few days later, it's like, oh, we heard sounds from space. Big deal. In 1970, that would have been a gigantic deal. So things have changed there too. We're much more jaded. Too much information all the time. There is actually more. I'll post it below. I've come up with a LGBTQ statement. You know, I believe 100% that we're all equal. No one is, I mean, sure, someone's a better musician because they've practiced more. That makes them probably a higher seat, a lower numbered seat in the group. But really, in an orchestra, the worst player is as good as the orchestra can actually get. You get rid of the worst player and you improve. Get the worst player, start practicing, or inspire them to play more musically or better in tune. Anyway, so equality of how much effort they've put in, that's not equal. But person to person, like, don't cut in line in front of anybody. We're all equal. You got there first. Take your turn and emerge. All that stuff. Don't try to be above anybody else. Everybody deserves the same pay if they're doing the same work. So I believe in equality. Then it got into, I'm still sort of sad about losing quite a few friends to AIDS back in the 1980s. And I want to hang on to that, I think. I like to hang on to my sadness about that. My wind octet was 8 players and a conductor, and 3 of them are still alive, I believe. 6 of them died in the 1980s from AIDS. We were in San Francisco. So that's kind of a sadness I like to hold on to. And the other thing, land title. You know, I'll say annoyed by people saying we are on First Nations treaty territory and all that stuff. First of all, I see archaeologically, there seems to be Mayan-style walls in Montana, or the kind of walls you can't even put a knife between the crack and the rock, because it's so well made. I want the First Nations to tell me how those are made. And there's a monolith, I think it's called a monolith, of stone carving north of Ontario, in northern Ontario, and it's like Celtic runes writing. There's 250 characters of the Lord's Prayer in ancient carving. I want to know how the First Nations got that information and why they carved it, and then there's another one, the Stonehenge-like object in Lake Michigan, underwater in Lake Michigan. 3 main archaeological finds or sites that are pointing to much more advanced than hunter-gatherer peoples. So I really seriously doubt that what we're calling First Nations is First Nations. And plus I believe that we were created in a lab by the Anunnaki 220-some thousand years ago. So humans, and the story that I've read and I believe is they made 12 pairs of humans, all different colors. So the Anunnaki, a quarter of a million years ago, made yellow people and black people and red people and blue people, and the colors, they were all made at the same time, all from the same genes. So the creation of all different people really is simultaneous, and we go to different environments because there's no styles. We can handle cold more or warm more, or, you know, that's kind of stuff. But really, create at the same time, created equally. So I don't agree with First Nations because I don't think they were first. Well, I would say I'm 100% sure they weren't first. Um, on this land, here now, we're first. Big deal. Um, but I believe we are keepers of the land. It's our duty to try to keep the land clean and healthy, um, and it's God's. We're God's land. So I think the treaty statement should be, we are caretakers of God's land. And that's about it. So thanks for hearing my rambles today. I think I gave you some ideas to think about, and I would love comments. I know not many people listen to this, but I do it for myself and a record of my life and my future whatever that word is. Not ancestors, but the opposite of ancestors.